Alrighty. So what's up, everyone? It is Joe and Seth from Team Dark Magic Attack. Here, so the other day I posted on a couple pages about people's pet peeves in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, and just like what they don't like and what annoys them. So I got a bunch here. I'm just gonna read what the comments are. So some of these are probably repetitive, but just bear with me on that. I didn't organize them or anything like that because that's too much work right now. So, and I don't have
We don't
that.
even organize our own cards.
I just don't have time to. Is when people start explaining what their cards do in latter stages of the game when I didn't ask. In casual games, fine, I don't mind. That's the time for janky cards to shine. In sanctioned matches, though, where there's a time limit, question mark. If I didn't already ask what your card does, chances I already know. I don't need you to explain it to me and interrupt my thought process when I'm trying to play around the clock. So, what do you think about that?
So I think if it's like a really niche card, and a good example of that is when I played against the Mermaid player locals, I went Sphere's Tribute, I bounced, and then I summoned Grand Tusk Dragon that I got off you. Because a lot of people think when Tenpai you're just going to drop the Quackmare Draco, but with Grand Tusk it pops two. So like I'll just say real quickly like what my card does, but
Yeah.
like just like you have the right to be like, hey, what's your card do? You also have the right to tell your opponent, hey, this is what my card's going to do. That's just public knowledge,
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah, and I think like for the most part, like when I play, like if somebody plays something and they're normally pretty good with what the card does, especially like when we play the same people at locals anyway. We know what their
Yeah.
decks do, but yeah, there's like times where somebody plays something and that's like something I haven't seen before, like the new stuff in the Snake Eyes. What is it? Al's
Azamina.
Azamina. Yeah, like I didn't know what the one hollowed whatever did. So like, but after the next like 50 times, I was like, okay, I know what this does. But yeah, no, for real.
And I
Um,
just feel like that's just good player communication because I mean, like with Snake Eyes, even though everyone knows what Snake Eye Ash does, a lot of people still go Ash effect search,
yeah,
no one just goes Ash effect, oh, and go in my deck.
yeah,
Especially when a card has multiple effects, because you have to specifically say which effect you're doing.
yeah. And, a couple cards have two or three effects anymore, so it's trying to figure everything out.
Yeah.
All right, next one. People who don't say anything and just point at their cards, then give you an annoyed look as if it irks them that you might interrupt them or interrupt their game of solitaire. Um, so like there's a couple of them like this. Someone just points to their card, and this is kind of like a biggie. And it kind of goes like with what we just said. Like if it's something like we know, like you've played this person before, this deck before, sure, whatever. But then also, you know, sometimes I'm not always up to date on these cards. So if you just say like you said, a Ash effect, if you're just point and be like, oh, I summon Ash and point to it and be like effect, and then just start, it's like, well, what's it do? Especially, with newer decks that come out, like I try to keep up with all the newer stuff. I'm always a little bit late on all of it, but it's like, when someone plays something, I do want to know what it does because I might have a response or not.
Yeah, and it's not just like stuff like that. It's also like um a kind gesture thing because you don't know that person you're playing against. It could be their first time playing. It could be their first local, you know.
First locals and someone's playing Snake Eyes Fiend Smith.
Listen, it's not. It's just like Johnny when his first local he got paired against Cash.
I know what cash does. But no, yeah, for real, it's yeah, like it's more of a kind gesture, like you said, like point, and I'll probably touch on this later. But it's like when Shining Sark, like I was playing Shining Sark when that first came out. I'd play Sark and then I'd summon Magician Sword, and I'd always have like, do you know what this does? And if they say yeah, then it's like, all right, cool, then I don't need to explain. But then if they said no, then I'd explain it. But then there was this, who was it? I can't remember who it was, but I was playing it. I asked them if they knew what the cards did, because one has a spell, one has a targeting negate. But then I also, Shining Sarcophagus had that one effect where you can send something to the grave when they special summon it from the graveyard. And I use that effect, and they're like, oh, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, well, you special summon, something from the graveyard. I can discard a spell and send it to grave. And they're like, oh, well, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah, but I literally asked you when I played all these cards, do you know what these do? And you said, yeah. So I
I
don't
think
know.
it goes to like um really what your player preference is. So like obviously I'm a big meta player. I'm a meta sheep. So like I know what the meta decks do. But like even if I get paired against like you, like how many times do I ask you every game, like, wait, what does this card do again?
Yeah, better,
Because I'm not
better.
familiar with it. I don't play it. I didn't take the time out to learn it.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just simple gesture. Uh, I'm sorry. Knowing you're going to lose 2 out of the 5 rounds to Floodgate slash lock decks, and I don't mean lose as in not win. I mean lose as in literally losing the existence of the rounds, because it doesn't really feel like you're playing the game. Those games make 40-minute drive to my locals then and back not even feel like worth going, or just not worth doing over Master Duel. Um,
Quit your fucking crying.
so he's talking about like Runic and stuff, correct? And
I mean,
floodgates
that's what it
and
sounds like to me, but like that's just Yu-Gi-Oh.
so yeah, and it's funny because I posted on the one page about I was playing Runic the other week, and a lot of people were like, oh yeah, that's how. But it's like it's the game, and I understand that, and like that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's how let me put it this way, and I know we talked about it just the other day. It's like you can't complain about Runic Stun. All right, just hear me out. But then you play Snake Eyes, Fiendsmith, whatever,
With
and
20
you go. Your opponent goes first, and then they have like 4 or 5 negates set up. So I can't do anything. But then if I go first and I have Fountain and Tikaboo and Skill Drain, whatever, and like it's the same thing, but just on the
reverse.
opposite side. You know what I mean? Like you can't say, "Oh, this person's playing a stun deck and it sucks because I can't do anything," but then on the opposite, you have 5 negates, so I can't activate anything anyway. You ash this and you negate this, and then you pop this. Like what was it? Borload, Savage Dragon had.
Yep.
Yeah, it could have like a couple negates or pops or whatever. It's the same thing, and that's like how I look at it. Because a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, all Runic Sun players should, be ashamed or should quit or blah. And it's like, yeah, but that's the whole purpose of having a side deck. That's the whole purpose of the game. Is you play one match. Oh hey, Seth's playing Mermail. Okay, cool. Let me side, and I'm playing Dark Magician. All right, well you're gonna add in Cosmics for Eternal Soul, right? Yeah. I'm gonna add in Secret Village and whatever. Like that's the whole purpose. Like side decks are so like general now. It's just Cosmics, Forbidden Droplets, maybe Lightning. So you know what I mean? Like it's so you can go against, and win the next match. Like I get what they're saying, but I personally feel that that's just the game, and you know, you got to be prepared for it one way or another. Like,
Yeah, like it amazes me when people complain about Runic Stun because I played it and now you play it.
I played it for
But
one
like
locals.
back at UI, I know, and everyone hates you now.
Yeah.
My buddy Nick would play like straight stun, and I'm talking like normal summon Pelicelfio, Moon Mirror Shield, have fun. Like, what do you even do?
Yeah, because Moonmere's shield gives you an extra 100 or whatever when. Okay.
It makes its attack points 100 higher than whatever monster it's battling.
That's right, yeah. So
There were so many times I wanted to choke him.
you'd summon what, the Dynas or Dyna,
Yeah,
whatever, and then.
Pelicelfio.
Yeah, and then just Moon. Yeah, okay. Um, I mean, at least I didn't play that. I just played a mono Watto, but
Same thing.
is that even better? um,
I can still Ash under Fossil Dyna.
what's that?
I can still Ash under Fossil Dyna.
I mean, true. Alrighty. Next one. When I surrender and compliment your deck slash play style, don't proceed to explain how you are eventually going to win anyways. It doesn't happen much, but the rare event where my opponent starts bragging about how amazing their strategy was after I conceded is utterly tone deaf. Uh, eh. I mean, I, I kind of get what they're saying, but
I did.
for me, it's always like if you're gonna win, you're gonna win. You know what I mean? If I'm playing against you and you have me locked out or whatever, I say I'm scooping whatever, and then you go, oh yeah, well it didn't even matter. And I guess I see
There
what
is
they're
someone we
saying.
both know.
Yeah, I guess I see what he's saying. Um,
I'm going to give any names. So, Matt,
can you repeat that? You were cutting out for like a
he's
hot
like, "Oh,
second.
my deck's the best," and then I stomp him down.
Can you repeat that? You were cutting out for a hot second.
Cool.
You still
Come on.
are.
Why?
I don't
Why
know.
does it
Like
hate me?
now you're fine. You're frozen on my screen, but I can hear you.
Oh, um, but yeah. So, not to give any names, it's someone we both know. He thinks he is a good player when he can win one match, and then I proceed to stomp him next round,
Okay.
and then he gets salty.
Is this
Man can't even play Tenpai right.
okay? I think I know who you're talking about. Someone I don't like.
Oh yeah,
Okay, yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
I was about to message you, but
Just wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
but it's just like anyone can win a local. If you can top a regional, I think you deserve to load a little bit because that's not always easy to do. But if you're going to win like a YCS, top YCS, or nationals, or worlds, or even go to worlds, you should be gloating because that's awesome. But if you're doing just to rub it in people's faces and be arrogant, well, you should step on a Lego.
That's fair.
Try to keep it rated G.
That's fair.
That's why I'm not trying to keep my shirt off the screen.
Thank you. Okay. So this one had multiple ones with the ADHD shuffling of their hand 24/7. Like I swear, like every other one was one of these, and I agree 110%. Like it's one thing to look through your cards, but then it's just a like every like 2 seconds, Seth. Um, but sorry, I'm still kind of getting over being sick. But yeah, like for me, yeah, like that annoys me a lot. But
So
I'm not gonna tell someone, hey, stop doing that, because it could just be, maybe somebody just had, like that's, you know, what do I want to say? They're, I get like, like it says ADHD, but I mean, like maybe that's their way of, figuring something out or whatever, like,
and that's exactly kind of what it is. Like even when you watch the YCS streams and stuff, you'll see people sitting there shuffling their hand,
yeah,
and a lot of times it symbolizes, and look when they're doing it. When my opponent activates card effect, thinking, and they shuffle through their hand real quick to see if they got a
yeah,
response. And I used to hate it so much, and so did Adrian, but now we both do it. And Jordan, my fiance, religiously hates it.
yeah. I mean, like, if you're doing it, whatever. But I mean, like, I've been paired up against people and they just do it constantly. And I mean, after the first 5 times, it's whatever. But then when you're just doing it when I'm playing stuff and like not even like just doing it, I mean, like not looking at your hand. I mean, like people just when I'm playing stuff and it's just like, all right, like it's kind of distracting sometimes, but
Yeah,
whatevs.
no, I get it.
Uh,
No, I will not stop.
calm down. At regionals, it's stalling for time and rule sharking, wasting time for no good reason. Locals, it's mostly just people not obeying basic rules and cleanliness and politeness because, yes, my cards are in sleeves, but no, I am not letting someone who just ate food touch my cards. It's unclean. Uh, Both events, I hate when people have a mood swing while losing. They go from being polite to overly dramatic, and it's just a card game. Chill. So yeah, time like stalling. We don't really have this issue at locals.
No, just with Sun players.
Just I think if anything, it's if we do have somebody that's like learning a new deck or something, but I wouldn't say it's like stalling. It's, hey, give me a second so I can read my cards real quick, which like that's always fine.
Yeah.
Like when someone's stalling for time. Um, Locals, it's just people not obeying basic rules of cleanliness. Yeah, so like for me on that one, like I don't have like I never have food on the table, and if I have my drink, it's always like a bottled
Yep.
drink, and like even that, like I always have it like in my backpack or beside my backpack. The only times I ever have it on the table is if like no one's beside me and I can put it because I'm super paranoid with drinks anyway. Buying with cards, that. So like I'll
Yeah.
have to put it, in an like the empty spot beside me. Um, but yeah, and then people being polite to overly dramatic. Yeah, like this annoys me too. The one guy, I haven't seen him there for a while, but there's that time he was playing like Branded D Link or something, and I was playing Dark Magician, and he lost against me like the one round, and like he was throwing a fit, like he was mad about it, and it's like, dude, I had Dragoon and Secret Village, like
Oh well.
you didn't have an Ash to stop Ref, like, and then I had like Imperm and Eternal Soul face down and stuff like that, but like I just in Ash in hand as he kept trying to do stuff, and I just ashed him and negated his stuff, and then Omni negate with Dragoon, like sorry, and then like he became like a real dick. I'm sorry. Casey just kept edging him on. I remember that. But how do you lose the Dark Magician? Do you even play Yu-Gi-Oh or what? Um, but yeah, he became like a kind of a dick, and it's like once again, like I'm playing the game. Like that's just how it's played. I
Yep.
wasn't. I didn't cheat or I don't have. It wasn't even it's Dragoon. Like, sorry, I'll throw a kaiju in or something. I don't know. Not my problem.
But even Dragon League, like, could play something like Super Poly and out it. So
Yeah,
like,
but I
but
I, I think I think it like I'm pretty chill. Like I go to locals and I go two and two half of the time. You know what I mean? But like I go just to slap some cardboard with you guys. Like I'm away from the wife and kids for a couple hours. Like that's me. Like I just want to go out and do something I like. So I
yeah,
don't care if I lose or what. Like it's just something I get to do every other week with you guys. And I get like some people play it, seriously and take it seriously and whatnot. But like, yeah, it is a card game when it's all said and done. Um, like if my Dark Magician deck can beat your $300-400, Snake Eyes deck or whatever,
that's hilarious.
and it's happened once. But like, don't throw a fit. Like, I'm sorry you spent all that money. Like, I don't know. It's always cool when you see like these janky decks, like top. It would be like, just like one random deck or something out of the blue, and it'd be like, oh, it was like that time we went to that regionals, a few years ago, and everyone was playing Sword Soul and Virtual War, and like one person was topping with dinos, it's just like that one person. We were like, what the hell?
Yep, the
Um,
7 rounds of Adventure Prank Kids was fucking fun.
Meow meow. But yeah, do you have any thoughts on this stalling and obeying and stuff
So
like
like,
that?
my locals, they're probably not going to care. As far as the food and drink situation go, it comes down to just being a good person. I do know some shops like House of Cards, they kind of enforce like a no food, no drink rule from outside, and like you can't have it on the table while you're playing. Um, you don't have to let your opponent hold your cards. You can tell them like, listen, I'd rather just read you my card. That you can do, and same thing at regionals. But as far as like the time you think your opponent's stalling stuff at regionals, call a judge. If you don't call the judge, that's on you.
Intense unyielding hand shuffling. Okay, constantly with or without the loud snapping of the cards in the hand or onto the table while repeating. I can't talk. I'm sorry. Thinking. Even worse when at locals and it goes on for 2 to 3 minutes between. Can I see your graveyard and cards in hand? Only for it to have been a brick and okay game two. So I mean this kind of goes just with the hand shuffling, of course, and then I mean I see nothing with thinking. Um, can I see your graveyard and cards in hand only for it to be a brick and okay game two? Um, I kind of see what they're saying on that, but also, I mean, you never know what's in the graveyard. So like, if so, let me uh relate on that. So like, if I want to see what your graveyard has, because say you're playing something that has a lot of graveyard revival and stuff like that, it's let me see your graveyard, and then you want to see does this poplar or whatever, but yeah, I mean like 2 to 3 minutes is kind of long. Sorry, but I mean I don't see anything really bad with this, just the hand shuffling.
Yeah, I mean 2 to 3 minutes is excessive
Yeah.
because like, and this is something a lot of people don't do anymore that I know of, but I used to do it, and so did other people. If I lost dice roll and my opponent went first, and I bricked, and they go full combo, I will ask to look at their graveyard, and I will ask like cards in hand, see if there's anything I can do. And if not, I won't play a single card and say game two, let's go, because then they don't know how to side against you.
Uh, when I lose a game and decide to look at what I would have drawn next, and it would be the card that would have turned everything around, like Super Poly, Tactics. Heck, I realize in hindsight that means to draw that Tactics earlier if I did a different play. Yeah, so this is annoying too, and this, I mean, like, this isn't really at anyone, but it's just like you play and then you lose. You look at the next card and it's like, oh, if I would have searched for, if I would have used my Soul Servant to draw at that time, I would have gotten my Secrets of Dark Magic to get Dragoon out. But it's like, well,
Yeah.
instead of using my Soul Servant to draw two or draw one, I didn't. I was gonna save it till I had Dark Magician and Girl in the graveyard to do the two, but if I would have just done it, I would have had what I needed. So, I mean, that kind of sucks. I mean, like, that's nothing you can really do about it. I mean, it's just, kicking the ass for you. But I've been there and done that. I'm pretty sure you have too, where
Just get good at the game.
just
That's
get,
the answer.
yeah, get good. Yeah, but I mean, that's nature of the game. I mean, that's what 90% of this is luck and skill and strategy. So you're gonna like this one. People bringing their Tenpai, Fire King, Yubel, etc. meta decks to locals. I feel like locals are more fun when you're just having a good time facing other rogue slash for fun decks. Somebody says, to be fair, maybe some of those decks are decks they like. Sometimes. Absolutely agree. My locals have fun Thursdays where people play janky stuff. This person played Armed Dragon Ojama. Some dude came by and was like, "Oh yeah, I brought a fun deck," and whips out full on flu with shifter and stun. Dick.
That's funny.
That's what they said. So okay. I agree half and half on this. Hear me out. And I've talked about this in like one of my other videos where locals kind of sucks sometimes for people that either have never like played the game. I agree with this partially on both sides. So I think locals does suck sometimes because it's people that are getting back into the game or haven't played forever, and they come in with a deck or whatever, and they get swamped. That's like saying, I don't know, maybe like somebody has like a Cyber Dragon deck and hasn't really played for like 5-10 years. I don't know. They come back and they're like, oh yeah, I just moved here, or new card shop, whatever, and then they're just getting demolished by Snake Eyes and Yubel and Tenpai. And I think it puts kind of like a sour taste in your mouth, especially like when you have people that watch the anime and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, I like Red Eyes. I want to build a Red Eyes deck. I built a Red Eyes deck for Frankie. And like that's what I was thinking is like, like if he would, I know he's not, but like what if he would go to locals or something like that, but he's just gonna get wrecked. I think stores should do like the Heart of the Underdog format sometimes. That would be nice. I know Winnie Hut, does that thing or whatever, but like it would be nice to have like a Time Wizard format or something just for people that don't like the modern Yu-Gi-Oh, and they like go Edison Hat, whatever, or just specific era, I guess. So that they have a chance to play and aren't just getting wrecked. But then also, on the other hand, like that's the game. That's probably the fifth time I've said it. Like that's just how it is. If this person wants to, they're here to win. I'm not gonna complain on you if you have your max rarity Tenpai whatever or Mermail. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna get angry at you because it's like this is your deck. You're here to win. You want to win the box tournament or the mats or the invites or whatever. And I can't be mad at you if and then while I'm playing Harpy Lady or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I can't If I'm not willing to learn the mechanics or spend money and whatever, like I don't really have anything to complain about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think what it is too is like it's really up to the store to decide like, hey, we're doing good here, so we're going to add this in. The difference between House of Cards in Lebanon that does have multiple Yu-Gi-Oh locals, including Edison format locals and stuff like that, to Broadside is Broadside has a very small locals when you think about it.
Yeah, we only have like 15, maybe 20 people, give or take.
Yep, but it's better than what it used to be. But a lot of us that go to locals, we play competitively because that's how we practice for
Yep.
regionals, ICSs, nationals.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're going to a local with, I'll throw myself under the bus, with a Tenpai deck, and you're playing against 2006 Cyber Dragon and whatever else, you're going to win. But then you're going to get to the event where it's all meta, and then you're going to eat your own cheeks because you had no practice. You didn't know what the cards did. And that's what's nice about Broadside is we have a little bit of everything at locals. We have some meta players, we have some casual, we have some fun guys. We have a little bit of everything, so it helps us prepare better, I feel.
Yeah, it was like when I played against Anthony, he was playing the Cyber Dragon. Dude, I was so stoked. I mean, like, of course, he had the dualities and the Clockwork Knights and stuff, but I was like, yo, like, this is awesome. Like, this is like the first time, like, I'm not playing, someone that's playing something super meta. Like, I was stoked. And,
Did you
uh,
win?
yeah, yeah. Secret Village wrecked him.
Damn.
Um, Dragoon and Secret Village. Hell yeah.
With demise
Um,
of the land.
what's that?
With demise of the land.
Oh yeah, no. When I played Demise against Casey, he had to scoop that first match because I played that. He special summoned something, activated Demise. He's like, "What's that do?" I'm like, "Oh, let's me activate his field spell." He's like, "Okay, cool." I threw a Secret Village. He's like, "Oh no, I didn't want you to do that one." And he's like, "I have nothing," because everything else was spell cards in his hand.
You didn't tell him I gave you the idea, did you?
Nope.
Good, because I want him to still like me.
After last week, he was stressed, and
You should be scared to go back Tuesday.
I kind of am.
You're gonna
But
walk in and there's just gonna be a sign that says no Joes allowed.
sounds about right. But yeah, like it's nice to have people playing like their pet decks and stuff like that. But then, like I said, it's also nice to have people playing meta stuff because that's how you learn. If
Yep.
you're somebody, excuse me, that wants to go to a regionals or whatever wants to learn the game, you got to get your butt kicked to learn how things work. You know what I mean? That's how it is. So yeah, we'll do a couple more. Okay, this kind of goes. People who take the game way too seriously and forget that the game is for fun. Like
Derek Miller, what?
oh jeez. Like it's locals. You can play some janky off meta deck. You don't need to. You don't need TP play. You don't need TP play meta all the damn time and crush everyone. Okay, what's TP?
They hit O instead of, or they hit P instead of O.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay, cool. You don't need
Or
to
they might be
play.
throwing toilet paper at the
I
opponent.
wasn't sure if it was like an abbreviation for like toilet paper. I was just like, what? You don't need but to play meta all the time, crush everyone. People who straight up destroy or don't want to teach young kids or people with disabilities and treat them like they're some other top contending mook. Take some time and be patient with them. Have fun with them. Teach them. Let them win or let them have fun. Okay, I'm not gonna let people win. I mean,
No.
I'll let my wife win when she plays against me or my kid. You know what I mean? But if I'm at locals, I'm not gonna let you win because I feel bad. Um,
Listen, you're nicer than I am. Because if I ever play any of my kids, You best believe I'm stomping them.
I, anyway, you would too. They'd be
Damn
like,
right.
"Oh yeah, I'm gonna activate Ash." Anyway, so yeah, so taking the game way too serious. It's like, was it the box tournament or was it? I think it was just a locals. I can't remember when somebody didn't get first place and they were like, they yelled. I'm not gonna mention names, but they yelled like, "What? Come on!" Because I think they were supposed to be tied for first or whatever, and they didn't. And
Yeah.
he was yelling or whatever, and it's just like, dude, like you came in second or third or whatever. Like, sorry, just do better next time, you know. But yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, like it is locals. It is a game. Don't take it too serious. Um, I mean, thoughts? No.
I mean, it's not your job.
Oh yeah, and
I
like I
mean, I
said,
can get getting frustrated if like there's like something good online, like I said, like a YCS or you're an ads invite or whatever. But I mean, a local's a local, dude. You're playing for store credit or packs.
yeah, exactly.
And if you're
Um,
that upset, just go buy packs at a store.
so I haven't been to any large event, but I don't like people who just sit there and act like it's a chore to exist. Like have some fun and joke around, and this isn't dueling book. Next one is when your opponent has naked anime characters on their playmat, smell like waterlogged sports towels, and rule shark you and dismissive when you return the favor. And then the last one is just rude nerds with no social awareness. So the first one definitely and like even at locals, like it's line up. Once again, I understand you guys want the invites, you want to win the mats, you want the box or whatever. But like my personality, I'm pretty bubbly. I'm joyful. I'm pretty cheerful whenever I play. Compliment. I don't go, man, you played that far. I don't get mad. I mean, yeah, it sucks, but I
I
don't
mean,
I don't get.
I got mad at the regional we went to, but hear me out, man. After 5 rounds of the same freaking deck, that's different.
What deck was it?
Adventure imprinted,
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Everything was.
but like
Um,
even so, like e- even when you go to like a locals and you don't do bad, like you can still pick up a nice card or something for yourself out of like the binder or
yeah,
even from vendors at Weiss. Like I was frustrated with YCS Niagara because I got close to making day two and I didn't make it, but I still got to pick up some really nice cards. So like I still enjoyed myself with Drew and the food and stuff. So like yeah, I still enjoyed myself.
yeah. Um, I've never had anyone with naked anime characters on the playmat. I mean, I've seen
Looking at
some.
you, Tyler. Tyler boys.
um,
Stop it.
rude nerds with no social awareness. I think there was another one. Oh yeah, it's the next one actually. I don't mind when people are sitting next to me and the opponent watching us play. What I absolutely cannot stand is when the crowd starts talking in the background, like ooh, or just comments in the middle of the match. Just noise for the sake of noise, distracting, annoying. It's even more frustrating when you can tell people are watching at a lower skill level than you or your opponent. I feel like a librarian having to shush everyone every 30 to 40 seconds. Um, rather have the noise canceling headphones to deal with that. So, no, it's kind of like on both ways. I mean, if you're watching a match, you're watching a match. Normally, like if I'm watching anyone, I just don't say anything because it does lose concentration. If we're playing and then somebody's said, "Oh, that's a good card," or "Oh, that's a good combo," or whatever. "Oh, they should have done this," or whatever. It's really distracting. Um, but yeah.